Did you see it? There he is.
There we go.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Unquantized Podcast. Let's get right into the theme song. Let's go.
Unquantized Podcast. Tune in on Instagram or YouTube to build the producer community. Live on Friday. This is 4 p.m. Eastern.
Young Durag Trizzles in the building, man.
I just swag out the gates for the do-rag.
Raggy? I have my hair dreaded, but it's between the dreading time. So it's a little crazy.
So you going all out. You really going for it, huh?
Well, I was gonna cut my hair off, and then I'm like, it's quarantine. I'm not going nowhere. Before I do it, I might as well, give it a go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got you. What up, everybody? What up? So I want to start the normal way, but we actually have a question off the rip, so we might as well get into this question real quick because I think we can answer this real quick. How does collaborations work? Does artists pay for other artists or they share the revenue? I'll just go ahead and cut straight to the chase, homeboy. They share the revenue.
Yes,
that is how collaboration works. You both put in the work. You both reap the rewards. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sometimes you could do like a beat for a verse. If you're doing an artist kind of thing.
A little barter.
Yeah, a little barter system. The barter six. You know what I mean? No Young Thug.
Somebody said let them bake. You got a little dreads baking? You got some dreads baking?
Gotta keep them, moisturized. You know what I mean?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. How was your week?
It was cool, man. Been working on are we saying what it is?
Oh yeah, let's get into it. I was like, shit, tell me.
Oh,
I know what you're talking
so
about.
I've been people been talking about the Producer Power Summit, so me and Oracle been, knocking out some of that stuff. So I've been setting up the foundations for that, getting that lined up. So that was a lot of my week. And besides that, man, I've been cool. Home dad life, homeschooling, and that's been about it, bro. Just working, cooking up.
Facts. Fire, man. My week has been pretty hectic. Nothing to really write home about, but I am. If you're on YouTube right now, you can probably see behind me over my left shoulder some extra equipment that's not.
Is that what I think
around.
It is?
Yeah, buddy. You see it. So I'm back in the lab. I had to break out some of the specialized equipment to work on some special things. But as you can see over my left shoulder, that is the old MPC 2000 on top of a Tascam 122 cassette deck with two cassette tapes on the pads.
That boy, man. Throwback Thursday over here on a Friday.
Listen, bro, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, I'm rambling. You feel me? So, that's what's kind of been going on this week. You know what I mean? It's been a good week, though. We got some cool people up in here. Baka from Cali is up in here. Shout out. We getting love from Brazil. Shout out. H2O Abs in the building. Smoking Aces is in the building.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. So yeah, that's been the type of week that I'm on. That'll be the type of weekend that I'm having. It's gonna be a whole old equipment, tapes, mood lighting. It's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a straight vibe.
I feel like I'm pretty proud of both of us because I feel like we're like early on stuff. You know what I mean? The October thing that we always do. I feel like I'm like 60% there already. This is the first. You know what I mean? This is the first time.
Yeah, we might as well go into a few things, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all too. I have like 0 topics this week. Sorry, y'all. Usually I'm on top of it, and I send out the forms and all that stuff. It's been a crazy week, so I have like 0 topics. But what we can do is we can talk about since October's coming up, man, what Triz is referring to is our annual Halloween free pack. Everybody knows about it. If you know about Halloween as fuck, hit the hearts, spam the hearts if you know about the great Halloween collection that we put out every year. So this year will be no different. We will still be putting it out. It's still going to be super duper dope. And it's still going to be free,
Free 99.
That is a fact. Oh man, look at the hearts. The hearts are pouring in.
Yeah.
Is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand
Is
up.
there a heart in the house tonight?
See, I wasn't gonna sing it, but you
Stand
brought it
up.
home. I like that. I like that. Also, the other thing that Trizza was talking about earlier, well, he said what it was, but the Producer Power Summit. So, seeing as how COVID does not like any of us, the current lifestyle situation across the planet has been a bit different, but producers needing to have the Producer Power Summit has not changed. So why should we? We're still going to pull it off for you. This time it's going to be virtual. Still going to be awesome. You know what I mean? And I think it's really dope because A, you don't have to buy a plane ticket. You don't even have to put shoes on. You feel me? I think it's going to be awesome. And more people from more places across the world can join. So I think it's really going to be better this year, honestly.
And it's BYOB. You know what I mean?
There it is. Yo, you could bring your own liquor. You could bring anything you want.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean? We know we don't judge.
Listen, you can pull up to the virtual Producer Power Summit on whatever you want, wearing whatever you want, don't want, eating whatever you want. Hey, you can smell however you like. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. You ain't even got to pay attention.
Don't encourage that.
Like, nah. I want to get it. We got a smelly contest here.
Man.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy this year, though. I think it's gonna be really dope. But once we get it together, we figure it out. We're gonna start putting things out. Tickets will go on sale, and it's gonna cost less for you this year, of course.
Yeah.
So we expect quadruple the attendance. This is one of them joints. We need you. If you come every year, we need you to tell a friend, and then tell that friend to tell a friend. You know, because we're gonna make it affordable enough that all your friends can get in. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
Yes, sir.
And the panel's gonna be crazy. I'm excited about it.
Yes, sir.
And that's another thing. I feel like the panel can be, I don't want to say better, but more diverse than before because we don't have to worry about location and all of that situation. So we're gonna try to pull some people in there. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. The only thing, and I was telling Triz about this, I might as well share it with everybody else. The only thing I'm worried about is getting somebody to be available months from now at a certain hour while on their own, like in their own house. Like they don't have to come to a place. So we like, yo, in whatever month on this day, in between these hours, we need you available. People will be like, yeah. And you know how it is, but we'll figure it out.
It'll be like the Nelly verses. It's like it's a storm outside.
It's raining outside, bro. I couldn't make it.
Wi-Fi acted crazy.
I couldn't even make it, bro. I couldn't even make it. The only thing I'm really upset about is we can't do the virtual cook-up this year. Yeah. I mean, we can't do the in-studio cook-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and it ain't nothing like actually meeting people, you know, shaking hands and dapping people up, chilling with people. That's different. So that part sucks, but you know, 2021, maybe.
That's a fact. I'm gonna be off the lemon pepper, so it don't even matter.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna be smacked off lemon pepper wings the entire time.
Noah West, what up, bro?
What up?
Long time no see.
So speaking of hold on, I know we got some questions in here. Letter L in the building. What up, bro?
Letter L.
Yeah. Let's see. I thought revenues change over time. Oh, this is homie from the beginning. Look at him being thorough, man. I thought revenues change over time. I mean, you could get paid for a song that a 5-year. Listen, man, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you collaborate with somebody, you both put in the work and you both get paid for the duration of the lifetime of the song. It's not you get paid sometimes and then you stop getting paid. No, you just continue. You both put in the work. You both continue to get paid. Like. It's as simple as that, though. I'm not mad at you for asking a question, though. It's, you know, when you want to know, you want to know.
On like DistroKid, I know it's a way that you could split the collaborators on the actual records.
That's fine.
So the funds go, you know, so you can agree and do all that stuff, and the money gets split like that. And then, of course, when you do your split sheets, you register for ASCAP, your PRO, BMI, whoever you with, you know, you're gonna put your name, put your info, put their name, their info. Make sure everybody gets paid.
Fire.
Do people use Sound Exchange like that? Like, I feel like people be sleeping on it. I feel like people don't know it. I mean, to be honest, I'm still not exactly sure of what they do, but I know I have it.
Me,
I know
me
they deal like
either.
with like Pandora, like more online stuff, like Sirius, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's another check. Y'all need to make sure y'all got that.
Come on, man. You got to get it. You got to get it.
Young Simba got it. Yo, shout out to Simba. Y'all know 2K21 just dropped. Of course,
That's right. He's on there. He's on there.
Of course, I'm 2K God. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm Mr. My Team. So I downloaded it. One of the first songs I heard, Young Simba. So I was excited. Podcast member,
Yes, indeed. Also, next week there will not be a podcast.
Oh, you gotta get the sound up.
Wait, hold on. Where's that? I can never find that.
There we go. Good try. Good guess.
Wait. That's not mysterious. It's just off. There won't be a podcast next week. However, do feel free to pull up to my Instagram and wish me a happy birthday, because it will be my birthday next Friday. I just will not be here. So, holla at your boy.
Yes, sir.
Holla at your boy.
We're gonna have a Oracle Jameson celebration just without you.
That
y'all
is
can get
true.
on Zoom and all take shots.
That is true. And I just got a message. This show will be cut a little bit short too. Only saying that to let you know, A, it's going to be short. And B, if you have questions, do not wait until the second half to ask them, because there may not be a second half to this particular show. With that being said, man, while I scan these topics, do you want to talk about Versus?
Oh, man.
Did you watch it, first off?
Of course I watched that one. Of course. If all the ones that I was going to watch, that one, because I feel like it was so much, what's the word I'm looking for? So much like history behind their situation. It's been like a well-known beef between Brandy and Monica over the years that I feel like nobody really knows why.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we kind of seeing them together, and they're so associated with each other that it's kind of like, it's like if me and you was the beef and then years later we come on a show, it's like, people are like, hey, what happened?
Yeah, hey, tell us about the beef.
Yeah.
Ain't enough. I don't know if they were beefing, and I'm not saying this is their situation, but ain't nothing worse than when two people did have a beef and you see them together, you're like, what's up with the beef? They act like they don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, and they felt like they didn't like each other. It felt like they still didn't like each other. I know at the end I saw clips and they were like getting along, but during the verses, it felt like right after this we meeting in the parking lot.
I thought they was cool. It's kind of like if you got a neighbor, like you might not dislike them, but you don't rock with a few things they do. It's not like you dislike them. I think that they may be like that. Brandy was flexing on Monica a little bit though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was so funny with the age thing. It's like, I was 12 and I was with Babyface and I wrote this. I was like, yo,
she hit the Babyface versus move. Yeah. Oh, that was cute. I remember when you did that. I had how many platinum plaques by then? But anyway, it's not important. It's not important. Just look at the slip-ons. That's all.
When Whitney Houston pulled up and said this was her favorite record, I mean, I forgot what day it was. I think it was 93, August.
Facts. They'll make memes about my great singing. They'll make memes about your outfit tomorrow.
For me, it was weird though. This is one of the battles where I thought in my head that it was like obvious who. I mean, I know it's a celebration. It's not supposed to be a battle.
That's a battle,
right? But in my head, it's a battle, right? It's catalog versus catalog. And this is the first one where I'm thinking it's one way, and I've seen a lot of people go the other way. So I'm Team Brandy. I'm not gonna front. Brandy to me influenced music like crazy.
Fact.
Not that there's nothing wrong. Please don't think I'm dissing Monica. I just don't have Monica songs where I'm like, I would rock to this. Like on a just a regular, I'm just listening to Monica. It's not really any songs like that. But Brandy got records. Angel in Disguise to me is one of the hardest R&B beats ever. The bounce on that joint is crazy. Full Moon
is one of the hardest joints to me.
Bro, she played that joint with Tim. Oh, I forgot about that joint. That joint, bro. And a lot of people was like Monica killed her. And I'm just like, bro, are we listening to the same thing? Like,
yeah, no, she definitely did not kill her at all. Monica did way better than I thought she was. And that's no slight, because first of all, these are two amazing women when it comes to doing what they do, right? But Monica did better than the greatness I thought she was going to do. if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, this battle made me a little sad. My bad. The celebration made me sad, and the reason why I celebrated with tears in my eyes is because I'm like, damn, they could sing, bro.
Oh yeah, they was
Remember?
killing me.
Listen, I'm gonna go on a little tangent, a brief tangent. Remember when people could really sing? It was a requirement to be a singer to be able to sing. It was a requirement of R&B to be able to sing with an A in it, not an I.
I sang.
S-A-N-G. You got to be able to sing.
Right.
And Monica, I think it was Monica. It was one of them in the battle, but I think it was Monica. She hit the most subtle but most forceful flex, and it
Oh,
is
I know
what
what you're talking
made
about.
me remember. Is what made me think of this. She was like, as the song was playing, she was like, "This is before auto tune, y'all." And
You
then
hear that T-Pain?
listen, I was paying attention, but I started paying more attention to a song that I've heard a million times, and I'm listening. I'm like, wow. So then I started listening to every single song. Like the majority of these songs, 90% of these songs, or however many songs, they did before auto tune was out. And not only was it great, they're doing things vocally that people who use auto tune today can't do.
No, that's
You know
real.
what I'm saying? Like real, like singing techniques, not just being able to carry a note. And yeah, I'm cool, but I'm like Brandy out here, she modulating and all types of other phrases. I have no clue what they mean.
Right.
Her and Monica, they singing over top of their songs. They sound better than the record that they had to do a million takes on. And this is live. No auto tune on them then during the battle, killing it.
And people gotta understand, like, I think why a lot of singers really appreciate Brandy is because if you're doing all those stacks, like Brandy's known for her harmonies and backgrounds, right? If you're doing all those stacks without auto tune, you got to be your vibrato. Everything's got to match, or you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it like kind of like, you know what I mean? So it's basically like she's like got a built-in vocal line on every time she cuts, it's like exact, and that's a skill. Like,
and
that's crazy.
If you've ever stacked harmonies, when one is off,
you know it.
You just know, like, you don't even have to be musically trained or know pitch to you'll just, if you don't know anything about music, you'll just be like, that doesn't sound right. Something will feel off to you. So to stack things 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, however many times, and not ever get close to, wait, something sounds off, that is amazing. And that is being a true master of your craft, which brings me to the question today. Do you, I guess I'm asking the chat, but I'm gonna ask you too. Do you think R&B singers today have it? Hold on, let me formulate this question right. Do you think R&B singers today don't have to be able to sing as well as R&B singers of yesterday to be considered great? How about that?
You know what I think? I think R&B did the same thing that I feel like New York hip hop did. They start chasing the trend and trying to sound like something else instead of sticking with their guns, and that kind of messed them up. New York, I feel like it's figured out. Like now, New York got the drill sound. Like, they have their sound again, right? But it was a time where everybody from New York sounded like they was from Atlanta, and I feel like R&B has got to the point where everybody just sounds like Future. Like when Future start doing that, everybody start doing that, and this is kind of like, this isn't what people like, from you. Like, we want to, if I'm listening to R&B, I want to hear bridges. I want to hear like that kind of vibe.
I want to hear real notes being sung, not by a computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like Chris Brown is one of those people, like he does the current, he auto tunes, but you could hear the talent.
But he's cut from that cloth of being able to really sing without auto tune. But now it just feels like a lot of the R&B acts or R&B artists now they kind of want to be rappers.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, not so. Yeah, so they're rapping, and then a lot of the rappers are singing. So R&B and hip hop are meeting in the middle and becoming this one particular thing. I don't mind rappers doing more singing and more melodic stuff. I'm fine with that. It's the other side of it that worries me if it goes too far. Like if R&B singers start going too far into being rappers, and then there's like barely any melodics there, then that's when I get worried about R&B. I'm not worried about hip hop, but I'm definitely worried about R&B, and especially seeing where it came from in that battle to where it is now. Kind of scary, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little fearful, just a little bit.
I feel like music is in a weird spot in general, just because I feel like, yeah, we do like the club and the turn up and the simple stuff, but I feel like it's almost like this longing for like really good music, like musicality again. Like whenever you hear it, it's like I feel like people super gravitate to it. Like Bruno Mars drops something, people go crazy because it's one of the most musical. Like he comes from that whole era of like really polished, but he understands how to make it a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like anytime something like that happens, people go crazy about it. But then it's like, all right, back to the simple stuff until we can get some more of that because it's so few and far between.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Baka from Cali says it seems like real singers aren't rewarded because they can't be duplicated easily, like a cheeseburger. Like a cheeseburger. Interesting analogy. But no, I feel you on that though. I definitely feel you on that. It doesn't seem to be too much more reward for someone that can really sing versus it's all about the numbers. If you get if you on a whole bunch of playlists and you on this chart and that chart, regardless of whether you can really sing or not, that's really kind of what matters. So I agree with that. Like there's not a whole bunch of reward for being a purist or being just naturally good without help of technology.
You know what I think I miss like that. I'm telling you, whenever this 90 to 100 R&B, like how the Bad Boy era, like all that, like everything was R&B, and we might be singing about heartbreak, but you're gonna dance at the same time. Like whenever that comes back and they figure out a modern bounce for that, I feel like that's when stuff is gonna pick back up. Like something you could two-step to, but and it's still R&B, but it's still up tempo. Because I used to enjoy that it would be like a slow song, and then they would remix it, and then it would be a club version. So it's like depending on what mood you're in, it's like you got,
facts.
You know.
I forgot all about that. That's a very good point. That was it. Like it'd be the same, same song, but then just two different mixes, and you're like, oh no, now we off to the races. Now this mid or ballad that we had, we can now play in the club because we got the fast remix.
Exactly.
I also think when R&B groups come back, this will happen faster.
Oh yeah, groups has been a wrap for a minute.
That's a fact, bro. When is the last time you saw an R&B group? Like, when was the last three newest R&B groups that you can think of? Because I'm out already. I have zero. Yeah. Anybody in chat? Yeah, help us out because I can't really think of any. Speaking of the chat, we can get into the chat.
See, Jagged Edge, man. Jagged Edge is. They got some years on there.
Is that an answer to the question?
Yeah,
bro, that's at least a decade.
Tommy Hits, what up, bro?
Tommy Hits was good. Tommy Hits, I gotta get with you, bro. I got your message. I gotta get with you, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to Tommy Hits, bro. If y'all don't know, go follow the homie Tommy Hits for sure. Let's see. Everybody wanted to be R&B thugs, so they didn't appear soft. I remember that.
Everybody's trying to chase Jodeci. Because Jodeci, I feel like was some real thugs.
Are you talking about the greatest R&B group of all modern time? Yeah, there we go.
Jodeci would sing to your girl and then try to fight you right afterwards. They was on that kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's a fact. Flux, damn, I just read your comment. I want to talk about this. But right now we're talking about R&B, bro. Real quick.
I saw that one.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Flux, let's see, Anderson back Daniel
Day
Caesar,
26.
Eric Clemens, Day 26. Wow,
that's still years
that's
ago.
Still, wow,
that's about 10 years ago.
Pretty Ricky, good. Okay. When I brought up the topic, I did not think that the ideas that would be presented would be from that far back. I'm at least thinking somebody give me somebody from maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, at least one.
I can't think of one, bro.
I have zero, bro.
Someone said TGT, Tyrese Genuine Tank.
That's
I don't
funny,
even
but
know if that counts.
That's the most recent one though. That's wait, I gotta find the R's now. that is a awe-inspiring thing.
Quintendo makes an interesting point.
What's that?
K-pop, which is weird, bro, because if you listen to K-pop, it's a lot of R&B influence. There's groups. They're basically like, I mean, like kind of Backstreet Boys, NSYNC-ish in a way. But it works really well in that aspect. I don't know why in R&B and hip-hop groups don't work. But in that aspect, they work great.
Wasn't it like the boy bandish type pop? Yeah, groups always work in that.
Kind of, but like that's why they were like after like B Cox and all of them, because they wanted that R&B sound. Like they wanted the genuine, you know what I mean? So that's why they were getting a lot of those producers to do those records, because they really wanted that sound.
Well, I've never been sadder to be an American. Because I'm like, come on R&B. Can we get some groups? And
it's weird, man. That is a good point, though. I mean, they're not traditionally R&B, but I wonder why the group thing works so well. Like, I feel like female groups don't work at all in America.
Yeah,
especially R&B and hip hop. It's weird.
True. Yeah, that's super weird. Go ahead.
Oh, Big Lo says The Weeknd. I don't consider Weeknd R&B.
Really? More pop.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and I know that whole pop thing is, but to me, he don't fit in the R&B category. It's more like 80s, like that kind of.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Well, okay. So as far as groups, though, we're rap. We agree that there has not been an R&B group for at least 10 years. Is that what we're saying?
Damn, that's crazy. That's
the
crazy.
First person to do it and kill it and bring it back, win. Super winning.
I'm thinking over here, thinking about B5. That was like
wow.
That was years ago. They all grown now.
Damn, B5. Yeah,
Mindless Behavior. Golly, that was about 10 years ago.
Yep. I got an unreleased Mindless Behavior song I did with Cosign over this joint somewhere.
I think I got one too. I think I got an unreleased one on the.
Wow, bro. Yeah. Wow.
I might have to go through the vault and see and play that Drake.
Man. Real quick, I want to get into some chat questions, but real quick, did you know? Well, I found out the other day, I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday. There is no simple way to turn up or down your left or right channel in Ableton. Think about it. If you wanted to turn up the left side and not affect the right side in Ableton, what would you do? Every track channel has one master joint. Any other thing is like panning, which is not the same thing.
That is a good.
Yes, it's not something that you would have to do often, but just to think about it, it's something simple, and there's no way to do it. So, saying all that to say, I figured out how to do it, and I built a.
Of course,
right. Of course, I built a device group in Ableton, and I released it to the Unquantized group chat yesterday for all the Ableton gang in there. And real quick, I'm just gonna run through how I did it, just in case anybody wants to do it. And I probably put it in my stories this weekend so people could download it. But if you want to make one, yourself, and I'm explaining what this is. If you want to make a device that turns up or down the right or left side independently of the other side, this is what you have to do.
Before you do that, why would like give them a scenario of why they would use that?
Okay, awesome. So the reason why I had to use it is because I'm working with a lot of damaged tape and damaged cassette tape while I'm working on what I'm working on. And so a lot of times the tape will fluctuate left and right, and I have to recalibrate easily. The input knobs on the tape deck they function together as a unit, and they kind of function independently. It's really weird to drive, but every time you want to align it, it's a real pain in the ass to sit and try to work these broken knobs on the tape deck. Right. So anyway, I was like, if there was a way that I can just do the signal, adjust the signal post and pre outside of the tape deck, that would be a lot easier. So anyway, that's why I had to do it. So what you do is you create an audio effect rack. You're going to make 2 chains in there. Both chains are going to have an EQ8 on it. EQ8 and Ableton, you go to mode, put it in left and right mode. Now each EQ has 2 sides, a left side and a right side, right? So you make 2 channels in your effects rack, one labeled left, one labeled right. Put your EQ8, let's say we're on the left channel, put it in left right mode. Since it's the left channel, you want to mute the right side of that EQ. So you go to the right side of that particular EQ, disable all the filter nodes except for one, make it a low pass filter, turn it all the way down, and then turn the resonance of it all the way down. And what that essentially does is mutes that side of the EQ. Right. So you just go to the right channel chain, go to the EQ8, put it in left right mode, and then you go to the left side of that one and you mute that side by, disabling all the filter nodes except for one, turning the frequency all the way down, turning the resonance all the way down. So now what you have is a channel effects rack with 2 channels. Each has an EQ8. One is monitoring your left, one is monitoring your right. Each of those chains has an independent volume. Map the volume from each chain to a knob on the macro for that group. So the first knob would be left, second knob would be right, and now you can turn up or down the left or right chain independently of each other. There's no device I searched, there's no device that does that, and there's nothing in Ableton that allows you to do that. So I threw that out there. I'm probably going to be throwing out more because I make stuff like that all the time just to like solve my own problems. Yeah, so I'm like, I might as well just start, giving that stuff out to the community, because other people might need it. I doubt if they come across the same problems I come across a lot, but just in case they do, I think it'll be cool to let people have that type of stuff.
Beats Music said, if you make beats in Pro Tools, you're clinically insane. And then right after Realistic, like, I make beats in Pro Tools.
Does that prove the point or disprove the point?
Right. Does the shoe fit?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna front though. Like you've heard me say it, making beats in Pro Tools to me is the most aggravating thing. It's weird, bro. It's just I don't like it. It's not, to me, it's not meant for it, but I see how you could do it. Anything that could loop and record, you can make a beat out of.
That's a fact. Let's see. Beats Music says, what I used to do was copy the, I got you. Yeah. Was copy the sound, pan it left and pan it right, then adjust from there. This was clutch. I appreciate it. Beats Music he seemed to be one of the most excited people about that when I put it in the group chat. So shout out to you. But yeah, and I thought about that too, but then I was reading something about Ableton's panning being a little different or difficult. So I was like, I don't feel like reading this and figuring out what's wrong with their panning right now. So let me just make this device to do this. So yeah, man. And I got like 3 more devices that I could think of off the top that I might want to just put out there.
That is the one thing that I feel like everybody who uses Fruity Loops, like, what are you guys talking about? Like, you can't do that kind of stuff in Fruity Loops. That's the one thing where I'm like, it kind of sucks. Like you stuck where you're at. It's the great part of it and the bad part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we're able to get like, it's so much you can do with it. Like I still, even though I'm not making beats in Ableton, I still do like everything else in Ableton, like sound design, DJ mixes.
Yep.
Like everything else, I still do it in Ableton because it's easier. Except for just making beats. I feel like that's the easiest part.
When Flux says, when tracking from vinyl, oftentimes the left and right will be slightly off as the outside of the needle gets more force on it. That is true. And if anti-skate is set to 0 for scratching, that is very true. So that's another scenario where you might want to use that device. Like if you're doing any type of tracking from vinyl. Thanks, Flux. So yeah, I'll put that in my stories this weekend in case anybody wants it. And if you look forward to be releasing other stuff like this, even though I probably will, just DM me, let me know you're interested.
Realistic said he might be one, and I feel like it's different for Realistic because he's an engineer too.
Well, Pro Tools is like a third hand to him. You know what I'm saying?
So if you spend 90% of your time in the one software, it's like it kind of makes sense to go ahead and
You know what I think the problem? Not to cut you off, my bad. You know what I think the problem with Pro Tools is? For so long, it was known to be notoriously bad for production, and they have somewhere since then switched to where they're good for production, or at least okay, or better than they were for production, but they still have the stigma of being bad for production. So they're gonna need, honestly, they're gonna need some type of campaign to like hype people up. They need to run a whole production campaign, to be honest with you. Pro Tools, first of all, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really see too many Pro Tools advertisements, but it would be smart for them to run a small campaign, just highlighting the fact that production in Pro Tools is easier now, or at least make a commercial where it makes it look fun. Even Apple has a Logic commercial now. Did you see that shit?
No, I ain't seen it.
It's a dude in his house, basically like bedroom type producer, making a song with vocals and beats and all that stuff. You know, they don't really show like in depth how it goes, but you just see a dude singing into a mic and hitting some pads, and it sound dope what he's doing, and he's in his crib. It came out after the quarantine shit started, so I'm assuming it was to like, I guess they figure more people at home, and people that make music, they're home, or people that may have a Mac or, you know, a garage band or something like that on it. They may want to make music, so let's throw this commercial out there. Pro Tools needs to do something similar to let people know that it is now safe to make beats in Pro Tools.
Yeah, no, that's real. They need to bring back the inboxes. You remember them days where you like you couldn't even open the software without the box?
Oh yeah, you need that inbox, bro.
Bro, I hated that shit. That shit was so trash, dog. Bro, you be trying to open a session, you be like, nah, bro.
Nah, what is this? What are you?
And then they had the dongle. Do you still need the actual, or do they got the virtual iLocks? Because I got Pro Tools 11 and I haven't used it at all.
I'm pretty sure they got the virtual iLocks by now. Anybody that's still using a dongle,
bro, I hated that joint. I would lose my joint all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you still using a dongle, that means your coding team quit long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah. Let's see. It says proves no point. Realistic is beyond human. That is a fact. You and 40 are crazy. I agree. They both are crazy. I heard somebody say that voicemail sound is warmer than tape. Stop it.
Get out of here.
No, but for real, Quintetto, did you really hear that? Making beats on Pro Tools is for aliens. Also a fact. Making beats in Reaper was for aliens too. So.
Oh, did you want to talk about the newest sample debacle?
Yeah, man, it's kind of hurting my heart too,
bro.
Yeah,
these people getting it, and I get it. If someone samples your music, you're entitled to part of it. I get it.
Yeah, but not to God though, bro. Not
but
to God.
So Jay Dilla is
God.
Jay Dilla is getting sued. I forgot what band it was.
Okay, you already know. I know. It's 10cc. Mm-hmm. So Jay Dilla sampled a group called 10cc, well-known rock group. He sampled a song called "Worst Band in the World" for the song on Donuts called "Working on It," which ironically is one of me and my wife's favorite songs. We just run around the house singing that all the time. But yeah, so whoever owns the rights to the 10cc song "Worst Band in the World" is suing Jay Dilla for working on it. And like you said, I understand that you have a right to sue, but it's just one of those things, bro. Like it's above the law to me. I'm like, come on, bro. It's Dilla. He died 14 years ago. He died right at like days after this album came out. It was a instrumental album. Not saying it wasn't used for things, because one of the things that is making this such a highlight is that it was licensed to Netflix for a few things. Dave Chappelle used it as an intro to something. So it went a few places, but as far as the album goes, it's not like it was put out to be a Billboard topping. It's an instrumental album, the last instrumental album from one of the legendary producers in the world. So I get the fact that you have the right to sue, but I mean, like, come on, man. Jay Dilla, rest in peace. Leave that man alone. Let him rock. You know what I mean? How do y'all feel about it? And also, brother, how do you feel about it?
It's just, I mean, I get it in a way, but it's like some of these sample lawsuits is crazy. I mean, like even with the Juice WRLD situation, like I understood why they were suing them at the beginning, but then it's like when they passed, I think they end up dropping it or settling out for it, which is like respectable, because it's like you don't want to, even though, you know, it's like it's right, you still want to have some respect for that person's like legacy and like their, you know, their life and all that. And you don't want to be families going through all this stuff and then all of a sudden you suing them on top of it. And it's just like, come on, man, you got to chalk that one up for the team. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's an easier way you could have dealt with it instead of doing all that other stuff. So
yeah, and I don't know if they're applying more pressure now, but I think this all started in 2014. From what I know, it kind of started in 2014, but now they're like really going super hard on it. I don't know why, but bro, it's been 14 years since the album came out, since he died. Let it rock, man. Let it rock.
This is a good question. What rap scene are you guys inspired by besides the US?
UK for sure. And Paris, bro. Paris is, when I was out there for that battle, I was amazed. So those are two places that I've been looking at ever since.
Yeah, I rock with UK. It took me a second. At first, I was like, I don't get this. And then the more I started like Skeptic Konnichiwa was the first one where I was like, okay, I get it. Like this is what's up. And then ever since then, I've been a lot more open. I've been getting a lot of recommendations for good stuff. I'm open to listen to some more stuff though. I like worldly music. Oh, I love like Brazilian, like rap, like Valley Funk.
Yeah, that's
like my joint. Like that's all I'm listening to at the crib.
You've been on that for a minute. That's your joint.
Bruh.
Yeah,
I got one of my placements was like inspired by like Valley Funk.
Fire.
Yeah. That K-pop record I did. This is let's see. Okay, October 1st, you won't be allowed to post music on Facebook or IG anymore. So this is a weird situation, right? Because they've really been cracking down on the music thing with Facebook and Instagram. But at the same time, they just drop reels, which the whole point of it is to take sounds and remix videos with them.
Thanks.
So it's a little weird, but like I know definitely with live streaming, they are really strict. Like that's why you don't see DJs like D Nice and all them. That's why you don't see them really DJing like that no more, because they would. I think the issue is DJ start putting a Cash App in the thing, and so all the labels are like, oh well, you're making money off using my music, so we need to get paid.
Bro, industry is gonna super suffer for that, like for real. Yeah,
bro, play a DaBaby record on Instagram Live. And
they're gonna cut your shit off real quick.
Bro, they will snatch your joint off quick,
super fast. But hey, that sucks.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's gonna work, but you know, they gotta figure that out.
Yep.
Oh, did you see the news about the whole BeatStars and Apple?
No, what's the newest on that?
So they're not gonna take the 30%. So they I don't know how they figured that out, but shout out BeatStars. I'm not on BeatStars. I don't really. I know of one of the guys. I think I met him through like You and Busy, but business wise,
shout out to Abe. Shout out to Mike. Yep.
Business wise, they move great. I don't know who the main business guy on their team is, but they be finessing, bro. They be like, that's one of them plays where I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna get around that. Like it's cost of the game. And they figured it out. So shout out to that.
So what you're saying, I just want to make sure I understand this. They're going to be in the App Store, but not have to pay Apple's 30%.
Yeah. So the producers don't have to pay that 30% transaction fee.
Okay. Got you. Well, I was unclear in the beginning who the 30% was actually coming from.
That's what I was too.
Yeah. So, okay. It's not coming from the producers. So that's cool. But I'm like, still, as BeatStars though, where's BeatStars paying the 30? I guess it's just on them.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know producers are happy about that. If you're on BeatStars, you rejoice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be happy that Apple's not taxing you.
It's good to know that that's actually true. Now, in the beginning, though, I didn't think that they would take the 30% from producers, because that would make a whole lot of their producers just run.
Yeah. Well, and I think the issue is that anything in app, like, so if you have a game, right, and you have an in-app purchase, that it gets taxed 30%. So like Fortnite, for example, if you buy a skin on Fortnite, that purchase is 30% tax, right?
Mhm.
So buying a beat through an app is kind of the same transaction. You get what I'm saying? But it would just start adding up, and I feel like a lot of people would just move away from using the mobile app, which I'm pretty sure is like a lot of their customer base is using that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they figured that out. You know, we don't sell beats online, but you know, we want to see the community do good. You know what I mean? We don't want people not making as much money either.
100%. Let's see here. Big Low says, I've been watching Knife Wonder live during the Democratic convention. Michelle Obama made her mic drop speech. Then it was on with me watching Ninth right after. She didn't even watch the convention. Got you. Okay. Well, that reminds me though. Did you see the Kamala Harris drop in?
Oh God,
the Monica Brandy joint. I was like,
Joe Biden in the chat.
Joe Biden throwing the flags in the chat. He throwing up flags Brandy. Like a referee in the chat.
What if he told Monica every time the beat drop was his favorite record? Oh, not to get back on that, but I felt like one, they should have deduct points for Monica for playing that record because that record is horrible. I hate that record, bro, with a passion, dog.
100%.
And then
100%.
I didn't realize how Missy influenced Monica so much. I knew they had records, but I didn't realize half of Monica's catalog that she played was Missy records. And I was like,
well, by the end of the battle, I was like, oh, Monica's one of Missy's artists.
I didn't realize that until then.
Yeah, that's a fact. And by the way, New Anything being screamed by Missy in the beginning automatically makes it great.
Oh yeah. New Jasmine.
I'm gonna have to hit up Missy and just be like, just give me a new Oracle drop.
Yeah, that'd be hard. You can't go wrong with that tag.
Damn. Well, I need a record.
Make that call. Hey, can you get a Trizzle one?
hey, I know you eating right now, but listen. Now, shout out to Missy, man. But I'm with you. I knew they had a ton of joints together, but like you, once she kept playing them, I'm like, oh shit, like it's a lot, and one could argue the best joints.
Oh yeah,
we had something to do with, Missy was on it. So shout out to Missy, man.
Let's see. Random question: do y'all play any video games? Oracle.
I'm gonna catch the pass, and then I'm gonna pass it to Trezor.
Well, you see this green screen right here. If you're on YouTube, it's faders and stuff. But yes, I play a lot of 2K. 2K21 just dropped last night. I am on there. I also play a little Fortnite, a little Fall Guys, a little Rocket League. That's what I'm trying to think of. But yeah, that's it.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. I don't game. However, no hate. Salute to all my gaming culture. I love gaming culture. I love everything that's going on. I just don't personally game because when it comes to gaming, I will lose days, weeks, and months of my life, and I realize I haven't done any work. So I can't game. You ever seen people that's like, no, I can't drink, or else it's gonna fuck up everybody's night. That's me with gaming. So I haven't gamed like that since like 2005, bro. To be honest with you.
No, I feel it. Zulu said, Triz, are you good at 2K? Be honest. It's a couple songwriters and rappers out here that they don't even play no more because I shut them down. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. With anything, I'm hella competitive. And if I lose, I'm gonna keep doing it until I win. And then I'm like, I don't care no more. So
are we talking about Sick Pen?
Hey man,
look at me.
2K20, if 2K21 drop, you know what I mean? Let's go, man.
Look at me. Are you talking about Sick Pen?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Daw is the game. Quintendo, I gotta go with you on that one, bro. Yeah, Daw is the game. Let me check the time real quick. All right, we got about 8 minutes here. I guess I can go into this because this is like a piggyback off something we talked about last week. So this, I wouldn't use this in the beginning of the second. We could do a brief second, but last week we talked about Is Hit Boy a super producer?
I saw that going a little crazy.
Boy, did that go crazy. A lot of people were sitting this up. And so the homie EA Ski, shout out to the legend EA Ski, he called me and he wanted to talk about it. So me and him, like we usually do, we ended up talking for like 2 hours. He raised a very good point though. His point was you can't be a super producer, or at least I deduced it to one of the greatest common denominators of super producers is you have to break an artist. And I didn't think about that. We didn't talk about that really in our discussion like that, I don't think. And I started looking at the people that are just unequivocally super producers, like no question about it. And all of them have that in common.
Yeah, okay, so in that case, would you consider Metro a super producer over Hit Boy? Because Metro is broken artist.
That is true, but okay, Hit Boy was a different case, and I argued this with Ski. I was like, well, Hit Boy didn't globally or on a wide range break an artist, but I happened to be at Interscope when he was over there, like, you know, cutting his teeth in the game, and he kind of broke a few. Remember Chasing Cash and kind of to the point where like, so I was like, does it count if the artists themselves did not become a big thing, but because of what you did for the artist, it put you on? Because for instance, he did a lot of stuff at Interscope where the artist didn't become big, but it put him on the radar of a lot of people and he became big. So in my opinion, just because I know that about him, he still counts as a super producer for me. Because a lot of people could be like, they didn't cut any art, they didn't break any artists, but they just might not have broken the artist to the point where you recognize it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
I agree with the breaking the artist thing to an extent. I think more, if we boil it down to the super producer, is someone who has a track record of hits and the branding, right? Because it's producers that, and I hate to say it, that have lots of hits, and if you look them up, but then they won't be considered super producer because they don't have the branding aspect, right? It's not really about the breaking the artist, I don't think. I think it's more about like when you hear Mustard, you hear a brand. Mike Will is a brand. And I think that's part of the reason why we consider these people, like Timbaland is a brand, like, you know what I mean?
So what I'm hearing is brand is equated with the term sound. Because while they are brands, everybody you name has their own particular sound, or they were first with a sound.
I think that, but I think also like they're larger than life. Like Timbaland, we know him for making beats, but you've seen Tim in videos, you know him beatboxing on the, it's like he's like an artist himself.
But what about Max Martin?
That's a good point. But I think Max, his thing is he's had so many hits that you can't deny it.
Okay.
Max had so many, like his discography is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, for us, we know as super producers, but most mainstream people probably don't know who the hell Max Martin is. So I don't know if he's put in that same tier with like Pharrell, Timbaland, and all that. To us, he is, but I don't know to the world would they consider him a super producer just because they don't know who he is. You get what I'm saying?
He should be. Part of my definition was if you didn't break an artist, it's by the amount of hits is a no-brainer, but it's by how requested you are. If I do something with one person and then Beyonce calls me and she wants to do something, and then another person calls me and they want to do something, and 10 people call me and they want to do something, now it can't be it's because I did something for the last person. After a certain amount of people, it's just because people think I'm that good.
Right.
And I think that's where me and Skeet might have differed a little bit on the but my thing is like once you rack up a certain number of requests with a certain number of A-list artists, you are now A-list celebrity. My real quick, and we probably gonna get kicked off a little bit. The person that I put as the exception, I said Kanye. Kanye never broke an artist. But then after talking for 5 minutes, I had to quickly go back and realize that Kanye might be the greatest super producer ever, because as you just said, a lot of artists and labels didn't even believe in him. He had to turn himself into the artist to be broken, to get other people to believe in him as a producer as well as an artist. So that little loophole might make Kanye the greatest super producer of modern times. And I know I've given Kanye a lot of shit over the last couple of years on this podcast, but that goes without question. I think he might be the greatest super producer of modern times, just because he turned into the artist to break as a producer, and that's crazy.
That is something though that I think that we need to get together and make like just a understanding of what a super producer is, because when I saw EA Ski's comment, I'd never thought about it like that until I saw that, and I was like, that is it's a bunch of ways that you can kind of interpret it, and I don't think no one has like a across the board, so I do think we need to have some kind of standards.
Hold on, Kanye broke a ton of people. John Legend is one, right? Kanye didn't break John Legend.
No, he actually did.
The way it felt or the way it came across was John Legend came out and Kanye was the producer of that album, but I feel like the label broke John Legend.
You know John Legend's, what's his name? Cousin. God, why can't I think his name? Devo. He's a producer. He's to produce with Kanye, and that's John Legend's cousin. I think that's how they end up meeting. And so that's why they started together, is because one of Kanye's like main collaborators is related to him.
Yeah, but I think I don't know enough about how John Legend exactly got put on, but it didn't feel like that to me. But it could be that Kanye did kind of break him. Is there anybody else though? Could you argue Cudi?
Yeah, Cudi. I mean, yeah, that is very true.
Who did Lonely Stoner? Who produced
A-Track, actually.
So to me, that broke that broke Cudi.
And then hold on, I want to make sure I'm saying the right person. Zulu, he says that Will.i.am wrote Ordinary People, which is who popped off.
It was so much going on with John Legend. So many people were around and acting. It didn't feel like, when a producer breaks an artist, you only see that producer and that artist,
right,
and you only hear them mentioned together. With John Legend, it just didn't feel like that to me. That would be like saying that Stevie J broke Carl Thomas, when it just felt like Bad Boy broke Carl Thomas.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Chucky
Thompson or whoever.
Common was way before Kanye.
Way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, Common, No ID broke Common.
Yeah. Does Kanye get credit for breaking Big Sean?
Nope.
It was
Wait, Big Sean's first big single.
See, that's different. That's crazy though, because it's like I never thought about it, because I'm thinking of Kanye as the label person, but
Kanye signed Big Sean, but what was Big Sean doing prior to that being signed? Being on Good Music does not equate to being broken by Kanye, i.e. Pusha. Push, broken by Pharrell.
That's
Did Kanye break anyone on Good Music?
Well, I know In Flight Music, he says Big Sean rapped for him in the elevator, they signed him and then put him out.
Okay. So maybe he did break Big Sean.
But yeah, as actual production though, that is a good point. I can't think of what was the big breakout. That's an interesting I never thought about it in that way of like, producing them is breaking it, because it gets blurry when you think of the label. Because like when you think of the Neptunes, they have Khalees, they have the Clips, they have, it's so many like artists that you can say like, oh, they produced this. Timbaland has, Bubba Sparks, he has Aaliyah, he got Missy. It's so many.
Facts. Prentice says Cudi was broke already. John Legend was like Luther. The moment he came in the game, he was just John Legend. That does seem like that. So listen, this first half is over. We can do a little bit of a second half. It's going to be cut short, but they about to kick us off here. Shoo. When we come back in the second half, Instagram, man, if you got questions, please ask some good questions, because I still would like a few good clips from today's show. And I feel like we didn't cover a whole bunch of topics, but I do want to get back into this as soon as we come back. And if we missed your comment or your question, holler at us. And if you haven't, hit up soundocle.net, hit up theproducerkit.com,
Yes,
get Ben
sir.
Trappin 5,
Going
the
crazy.
ultimate, probably the best of the Ben Trappin series. If you don't have it yet, make sure you hop over there and get it and come right back. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Boom. Do I want to save this? No, because you want me to type stuff. Yeah, I really don't like that you can't just like save it.
I missed the old Instagram.
Yeah. Boom.
YouTube,
We still here.
BRB.
All right, boom. We back on the gram. We're here. In case you missed it, in the first half, we were talking about super producers and who broke what artists and all of these good types of things. So real quick, let me just bring Trizza back in here and we can get back to that and then get into a few other things. So I'm waiting for you to come in.
Yo, okay. And so Wenzel brings up, I saw her comment before we got off. She says, would Kanye get credit for breaking Travis Scott? And I feel like it's an interesting one because Travis Scott Kanye'd himself, right?
That's true.
You know how we talked about Kanye broke himself for being like a producer to an artist. Travis, I mean, I don't know how, my understanding of Travis is a producer first. I know he was signed to Grand Hustle at one point producing. He did a lot of records with them and writing.
Yeah.
And then Kanye kind of came in to get him to help. So I don't know if you would say Kanye broke him when he was producing for Kanye. It's a weird.
Yeah,
it's
like
tricky,
did
man.
he really break them? Because to me, breaking an artist is like nobody knew who this person was, and then you came in, you was like, "Hey, let's work together," and then you put them out, and now people know who they are. Now the whole thing of I worked for you, helped you out, and now you help me out. Well, technically, he still could have broke. He still could have broke Travis.
It's
But
just-
what did Travis have going on prior to that, other than helping Kanye?
He did a lot of Grand Hustle stuff. He was out here. He had projects out. One of his better projects was before he really got with good music.
So yeah, so I guess it just depends on what you mean by breaking artists, and we don't really got to get into that because I feel like we'll really get into the weeds by determining like what breaking an artist is. But yeah, it just depends on what your definition of breaking an artist is. But I will say Kanye may be the greatest super producer of our time because he broke himself as an artist, and not only did he break himself as an artist, he broke himself as an artist because everyone else did not believe in him as an artist and or a producer. So he had to become two things to put out projects to show people that he was good at being the two things that they said he was not good at. So there it is, man. Shout out to him for that.
Young Diego Ave, what up, bro?
What up? What up?
Yo, Diego, how would you define a super producer? What is your definition of a super producer?
Perfect person to ask. Right there.
In-Flight Music says, I really feel like Travis broke himself. I think we can give Kanye credit the way we give some credit to Ho for Ye. That's interesting.
That's a good analogy.
That's
I like
a good
that.
take.
Yeah. That's good, bro. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah. Shout out to you, man. Wait, this is a long question. Do I want to do this? Hold on, my screen is getting funky right quick, and comments are pouring in.
Funky.
If you're producing a guy, he show you his demo. He has the lyrical content, but his rhythm flow is really bad. How do you help him out without offending him and spice up that flow? The first part of that, I think, is you're worried about offending him. I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, I'm not saying you got to go super hard and be an ass towards him, but I mean, simplicity and being direct is often the best way to go. At the end of the day, you're the producer. It is your job to make sure the song is done correctly, and a good chunk of that is making sure the artist is doing what not only they should be doing, but what you think they should be doing. So I wouldn't worry about offending them. You know what I mean? Just Yeah, just let him know. Everything that you just said right there, you could have just said it to him. Very, very simple. Very simple. You can't worry about offending people too much if you're gonna really take on the job of a producer and everything it entails, because it's a leadership position. So you can't be worried too much about people not liking your decisions as a leader. So I mean, be direct, be very simple, and take it from there.
It's like being a coach. It's like you could be the coach that yell on people, you know what I mean? And be like, hey, good, you should have shot like this, you should have did this. Or you could be the coach that's like, hey, this is what we're doing. Next
Yeah.
time, this is how you should approach it. And, you know, I think that's what you got to think of. Because if his pocket is off, then it's kind of hindering him, you know, as an artist. So,
Yeah.
you know, be upfront, you know?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Man, that's
Definitely.
I hate hearing rappers who don't got no pocket, bro. That's the worst, bro. It irks the
No,
shit
well,
out of me.
I'm like, when you think of your job title, like if you ask somebody like, what does a rapper do? Like, what should a rapper be able to do? In the top 3 to 5 things, is going to be things like stay on beat, have a pocket, be able to rap. You know what I mean? So if you're not checking off those mere obvious check boxes, why are you the person for this job? And why am I spending my time with you? Also, if you're an electrician and you get to my house and I'm like, what's the difference between AC current and DC current? And you're like, I don't know. You're not an electrician, bro. You can't just be like, I'm a different type of electrician. I don't have no AC DC pocket, but I got the other pockets. No, bro, you gonna set my house on fire. No, thank you.
Okay, so this is interesting. I was about to say John Cena, but that's not John Cena.
Not the wrestler though.
I think you guys are forgetting everyone who works behind the scenes for an artist to blow up. Promotion department, radio department, etc. So the reason why we weren't focusing on that is because we're talking about what makes a super producer. And I and me saying this now, I think that we got to, how we were talking about Kanye, and like him having the label. I think it should be a difference between super producer as far as they sound and production and actually making a beat, and then super executives, right? Because when I think of Diddy, I don't necessarily consider him a super producer, even though, but I consider him a super executive.
So he's not a. Well, is it super producer versus super executive, or is it super beat maker versus super producer?
I think super beat. Well, yeah, I think that one is a little more clear.
Because there's a lot of super beat makers out there.
Yeah, but I think what we're talking about is like with the Hit Boy situation. I think we're talking about a producer who's had this long run, you know, influenced a lot and continuously making hits. Which, yeah, I mean, Diddy, you could say that, but Diddy to me is more of an executive and the overseer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that now the radio department, promotions, all that does play a big fact in everything. But I think we're talking more about just sound and sonics and that kind of thing. I don't want to downplay the radio promotions and all that. No, you're right. Those people are gems, you know?
Yeah. All those departments count for everybody. But what we're talking about is the general, and you know, the relationship of a producer breaking an artist. I think the best examples are Neptune's Khalees, you know, Tim, Missy. Even though now, how different is it? And I hate to keep tacking on to this topic, but something has to be said for the producer that breaks an artist while they're breaking themselves. Because if you think about Tim and Missy, Tim was not like, it's not like Tim was established and then he broke Missy. They both did it at the exact same time and kind of broke each other. You know what I mean? And that's what I think a lot of people that listen to the show and a lot of people in our demographic should really be considering. Like, you might not have a whole bunch of accomplishments, and there's an artist out there without a whole bunch of accomplishments, but together you all can do something great. You can break this artist, and like we said in the last show, it's the best way for you as a producer to present your sound as an entire package. And if you can do like a Tim did, where you do that with Missy, and then you do it with Aaliyah, and then you do it with Genuine, and then you do it with this person, that person. Now look at you, it's like, damn. Because most people that break an artist, they break one artist, two artists. They don't break 4, 5, 6 artists, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. Let's see. In-Flight Music says, yeah, growing up, I always separated what Diddy was doing versus Timbaland.
Yes.
And that one's tricky. I mean, it's tricky because Diddy ear is immaculate. Like, I feel like he understands the formula. He might not be present, and it's a lot of people that's like that. That's not necessarily playing, but without them, it's not going to be the same product. So it's tricky. But I do. If I had to label him something, I would label him more of an executive than I would a musician.
Yeah, I agree.
Boy Wonder says, can you consider Outkast super producers? They changed Atlanta and the world with some of their albums after taking over production from Organized Noise.
No. I'm gonna just say no on that. Organized Noise, yes. Outkast as super producers, no. Not saying they weren't great producers when producing their own stuff, but no.
Yeah, I think when you think of super producer, like run with producing a lot of records for other people and that are known as hits. Not saying like that Outkast don't got hits, but
they had hits on their own. But now if you saw Outkast produce a Beyonce song, and then Outkast produced a whoever song, and then Outkast produced a song for this person, now you're a super producer. Not necessarily just producing or having hit songs for yourself. That doesn't make you a super producer. Actually, a super producer is more defined by what you do for other people.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Diddy is a producer in the classic sense of the word. That's true. He's like to me, it's like Quincy Jones, how we look at Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones might not, I mean, even though it's weird though, because Quincy had the musical ability to play the stuff. It's just at a certain point, he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna get the best people. Yeah.
That's a fact.
People sleep on Quincy Jones, like Quincy Jones was the coldest dude.
Oh, Quincy was an amazing musician before he was an amazing producer, or more of the executive side of production and orchestrating and putting things together. But before that, he was an amazing producer, man. Let's see. Prentice says, all I'm gonna say, Sound Oracle, is listen to the freestyle of the new XXL freshman cover one. Be able to make words rhyme. New wave or trash. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie. Being a rapper without being able to rhyme, I'm all about change, bro. I know things change. Things have to change. They're supposed to change. If they don't, then there's something wrong.
But I think we should. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think we should change the word freestyle.
Oh, at minimum.
Because a lot of times it's not a freestyle. And then if it is, it's a lot of times it's really horrible.
Oh, yeah. Most people don't freestyle anymore.
Yeah, they already got them written.
Yeah, it's just reciting some writtens. That to me sucks. Hey, wait, does Summer Walker hit the same without London? That's a good question. Have we heard how much Summer Walker have we heard without London?
Yeah, but London, he sauced her.
That's
I'm not mad.
That's a good question, Quintendo. Shout out to you, bro. I don't know. I'm waiting to find out like you, bro.
Let's see. Someone says Q-Tip a super producer.
Yes, because Q-Tip. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Q-Tip is a super producer to me because he's done a lot of things on the list. Number one, he has produced for and starred in a hip hop group, Tribe Called Quest, that was influential and changed or at least contributed to hip hop so significantly that it wouldn't be the same without them. While doing that, and after doing that, he also broke people like J Dilla. Q-Tip broke J Dilla. A lot of people don't know that. He also produced classic albums like or majority of classic albums like Mobb Deep, the infamous album, which is a hip hop classic, as well as other albums. He also produced was on the Janet Jackson joint. He was in the Uma, which produced for very big, great artists. I think, was he in Soul Quran too? Anyway, the point is Q-Tip, a lot of people think him is just the just a rapper or a member of Tribe Called Quest. But if you look it's a lot of people back there that you don't hear a lot about, but he was involved in so many things that I know of that he counts as a super producer to me.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
And he's
I mean, come on, you gave us Jay Dilla.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's very
you
true.
gave the infamous album. Come on, man.
I can see how the super producer thing is tricky though. Because
Yeah.
not saying about Q-Tip, but I'm just saying in general, because it's so many variables.
Now we had another topic like this that went on for weeks. I forgot what it was.
ESK got me thinking about my whole life now. Because now I'm like thinking like everybody, I'm like second guessing, like,
Right. Right. Like, damn. But I would say that counts. That puts you in the upper
Yeah.
echelon. If you broke an artist, at least one artist, and you are a super producer, that puts you on the A list of super producers. Yeah.
Jam Master Jay, no, but Super DJ, yes.
Yeah, because he didn't break Run DMC. He was part of Run DMC. He gave us 50 Cent, but he didn't break 50 Cent.
And did he really produce like that? I don't know him much for production. I know he did some, but I don't know
really how much he produced, but yeah, I'm with you on that.
I couldn't tell you like, oh, Jam Master Jay produced that record. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think at minimum, that's a good point. At minimum, being called a super producer, I should be able to name at least 3 to 5 songs you actually produced. Hit songs.
This conversation is getting so crazy. Okay, are Scott Storch or Just Blaze super producers? My vote, hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yes.
Both of them. Yeah, both
Scott,
of them.
I say it all the time. I've got the chance to see Scott in person, make beats. Scott musically is one of the best people I've melody wise just out the brain. Incredible.
So he falls into my second tier of super producers, which is you may not have broken an artist per se, but you got requested by so many of the biggest artists over X amount of time that it's not because, oh, you did something for somebody else recently, so now I want you because you're the flavor of the week or the flavor of the month. It's been 10 years. You're not the flavor of 10 years. You know what I mean? It's just people requesting you because you're that good. And when 5 or more A-list artists request you to be on their project and those projects go, or at least those songs you did go, become singles, become platinum, whatever, you are a super producer. I don't care if you didn't break a damn thing. You've been requested by that many people and you yielded results, which is hits after those requests. Super producer. Yeah.
I don't know. It's okay. So Slim Trill, shout out to the homie, came to the producer.
Slim Trill, what up,
bro? He says Ron Leslie, right? And see, that's a tricky one, right? Because he broke artists. He had a bunch of hits from the whole Diddy situation to the Cassie situation to his own stuff. But for me, he doesn't hit the marketing part, that's why I'm saying the marketing, it's like us producers, we know what about, damn it, hold on, my bad. Somebody called me. But as producers, we know about Ron and what he's done. But I feel like the world does. And so that's why I feel like it starts getting tricky and you have to throw the branding thing in there because it's a lot of producers who are like great that producers know. Like I think Battlecat is one of the best producers there is. But I feel like the world doesn't know him like they should. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you rate him in those situations? Because you get what I'm saying? Like it's a weird gray area in there.
I'm not gonna lie, my head is hurting. But I got one more. Would you consider Jay Dilla to be a super producer?
You have to. You can't. I don't even want to put that disrespect nowhere near my name. You have to.
I'm 100% on board, bro. And he did a lot of great stuff for a lot of A-list artists. I also don't think people know now, regardless of if you answer yes or no to that question. I still think people don't know how much he did for big artists as well. So but I just wanted to ask that question because I know that was a touchy one.
In-Flight says Ron is a producer for the rest of the world. And so it's this YouTuber I watch. this is hella random name, Cash Nasty, right? They be playing basketball. All the YouTubers play basketball against each other, right?
Mhm.
And he has this theory that he's not a hooper, right? He don't play. He's not a great basketball player. He just a hooper, right? So it's a hoop, a hooper, a hooper, and then a hoopist. That's his theory, right? And so I think we had to think about super producers like that. Like it's the super producers, then it's the producers, then it's a producer, and then it's like a beat maker. And I think if we think about it like that, because I don't know, man, that super producer, this is tricky. The more I think about it, the more like confused I get.
We're getting into our hit song conversation. That's what it was. It was the hit song conversation. Yeah. I don't know. But I applaud us for spending like another hour on a topic that we covered last week.
Right.
Wait, now, okay, Prentice says something very interesting here. He says, all I'm gonna say, first of all, you know it's serious when somebody start with all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is the house that Devontae Swing had with all those artists / producers, that was crucial to their development. Is that lack of development why he don't have as many new super producers? Now, if you think about that camp that Devontae had, that was an amazing camp that birthed some of the greatest musical minds of our time that went along to shape music. How come Devontae didn't have anything else after that? Not nothing else, not like he did nothing, but like was that just like divine aligning of the world, or what? Because that was an amazing camp, bro.
I think Devontae got in Devontae's way. I think if Devontae didn't get in his own way, then we would be looking at him totally different. Like I feel like we look at him like Teddy, like how we look at Teddy Riley. Like Teddy Riley, like all the people that was around him, like you'd be like, man, that's a lot of talent came from.
You raise a good point. Devontae Swing on paper should be getting the same respect as a OG as Teddy Riley.
I just think, I think, Devontae, whatever situations he had going on, got in the way. Damn, which, I mean, it happens. It happens.
Wow. Okay.
Wenzo said something I thought was interesting. Hold on. So the criteria for super producers is making hits and breaking a successful artist. Do you have to have plaques and Grammys too?
That's kind of a byproduct of the first things.
Yeah. I'm not like looking at it like, oh, you got to have 2 Grammys to be.
Yeah, I think those are byproducts.
Because I know people who got, I don't want to call them luck Grammys, but I know some people that finessed a couple Grammys.
Man, if you try hard enough and do enough math, you can get a Grammy for something.
Yeah, best child's album and catch a Grammy. Yeah, I know a few people that got some.
If you try hard enough, you could get a Grammy for something. For something out there.
Yeah. So I wouldn't consider that. Grammy is more of like a superlatives rather than, it's one of the things that I say it all the time. I really want one, even though I know it's pointless.
No, it is. It's senior superlatives. Like you said, it's cool. And people still think I'm tripping for not having any of my Grammys, but I just feel wholeheartedly. It's just, I mean, it's a cool thing to have. There's nothing wrong with them. I don't hate them, but nah, bro.
It's and you don't. When I learned you don't get the statue until you get like it's very specific with the ones you get the statue with. I'm like, oh man, that's like I want the statue. Like the certificate is cool, but I want the little
the real joint, real joint.
And it's like mad specific. It's like best album that you had, and you had to produce a certain amount of that album. It's something crazy that you had to do like a major percentage to get the little statue. Everybody else gets, the little certificate or the little coin joints.
That's crazy. All right, we can take a few more. I'm about to wrap it up. Let's see what else we got in there. Get off my screen.
Let's see. Why isn't Devontae around? I think we kind of addressed. I think Devontae had some issues, personal issues.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Boom. Did folks say working with him? Okay. So I don't know if we got anything else. I might just wrap it up right here.
All right, cool.
All right, man. Listen, hate to cut the show short. Man, appreciate everybody for showing up. So listen, before we get out of here, thank you to everybody that's bought Ben Trappin 5.
Yes, sir.
It's done better than either one of us could have possibly thought. We had a conversation about it yesterday. Was it we talked?
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at what it did. It did pretty all right, man. So thank y'all. However, if you don't have Ben Trappin 5, I don't know what you're waiting for. You need to hurry up and get it soon. And everybody that gets Ben Trappin 5, I'm gonna put them in a little special list for something else that will be coming out with. So if you don't have Ben Trappin 5, let that be another incentive for you to get it, because man, we got some stuff coming, bro. We definitely got some stuff coming. So hit up theproducerkit.com, hit up soundochra.net, get your copy of Ben Trappin 5 for sure.
Yes, sir. And no podcast next week. But
that's right.
We're gonna make sure we hit Oracle up. Spam them next week. What's your birthday? Is Friday?
Yes, my birthday is Friday, September 11th.
Yeah, make sure you spam. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I forget.
Right.
I forget.
Me and Luda.
That's wild. But yeah, make sure we show Oracle some love, man. Go buy some kids. Go write some comments. Something.
What's the fact? I might do a birthday sale.
Hey. Oh, and Producer Kid right now is I got a sale going on. I forgot. I could totally forgot. This is what happens when you plan stuff and you're early. That's what I'm talking about.
Early. Nice. All right, guys. Well, listen, man, it's been another episode of Unquantized Podcast. No show next week. Feel free to hit me up and DM me if you got any questions and all that good stuff. And
yes,
we will catch you all week after next. No homework next weekend. Enjoy yourself.
All right.